fucking hate when you're talking shit about yourself and someone's like, don't talk about my friend that way. I'm like, don't talk to your friend that way.
Shut up.
Don't talk to your friend that way. Let me be mean to myself.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Comment Section Show, starring me, your fave. Everybody knows me. Who cares about me? On to the guests. Today we have the iconic, the legendary, the unbelievably hilarious Jay Cornell. Woo!
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for coming.
Truly a dream.
We've been passing ships for a while.
We really have.
So it's nice that we're meeting.
We've had dates, and then we've had to do the very thing of like, hey, sorry, I actually can't do that date. Can we change it? We were playing cat and mouse. Yes. But I trusted that it wasn't a lie. I knew every time I was like, she wants me there. It's just not working out this time. And I hope she knows the same when I'm rescheduling.
And now I got you right where I want you. Sat and ready. But
There's weapons all over.
I did tell you to hold this for when we started rolling the cameras,
Yeah.
but recently you went on a cruise.
Yes, I did recently go on a cruise with my mother and my sister.
This episode is presented by Sephora. So look, everyone's hair is doing its own thing. Curls, coils, color damage, frizz that has a mind of its own. Yeah, we've all been there. But Sephora, she gets it. No matter what's going on up top, they've got the products to treat it, tame it, or turn heads. We're talking shampoos, deep treatments, hair tools, masks, the works. And the lineup, chef's kiss. We have Amika, Kerastase, K18 Day, all the heavy hitters. Sephora, good news for great hair. Shop now at Sephora.com. And how was it?
It was, so here's the thing. This is the second year we've done it.
Okay.
I found that a cruise, like if you want to go on a trip with your family, I think a cruise is like the perfect situation because it is a container. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And if you think your family is fucked up, it's good to go on a ship with people that will be guaranteed more fucked up than yours. Do you know what I mean?
Makes you feel good.
Like it's like my sister's pissing my mom off, and then we see someone like just like absolutely blackout drunk screaming at someone. And it's like, we're actually good. You know what I mean?
We're actually so good.
We're
and
actually
we're
so
evolved
good.
and we love each other.
Yes.
Are you guys making an annual thing?
I think, so this is the second year, and I think at the first year I was like, annual thing. And then we did it for a second time, and I was like, so we're going to pivot. I think it's time. I was like, I think for like year 3, we like change it up. You know what I mean?
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not a ship.
Maybe not a ship. Maybe not something that can, but like, and I do, like, we do have fun. My mom loves it. Like, my mom gets on the boat and she's like, well, I was born here. This is my home. And I'm like, truly.
That's my
it's like,
family.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my kin.
absolutely. She like knows the captain. I'm like, how'd you meet? Like, what's going on? She's like texting us. She's like, should we go to this event? I'm like, where'd you find out about that? Like, she's like, it's crazy. She's like so integrated into it. And so, but I think maybe we try something just like a different cruise, because the thing is we went on the same boat twice.
Right.
And so you're sort of like, oh, this is the same exact vacation. And, you know
You're
what I
like
mean?
reliving it.
Totally.
Okay. What cruise did you guys do?
I'm realizing I don't think I can say because it was a brand deal. And if I talk disparagingly of it.
Right.
Sorry.
But it was fun though.
But it was fun.
Okay. What's your favorite part about a cruise?
My favorite part, okay, so I love, like, especially when you're with family, it's very nice to, like, it's sort of fucked up. It's like a little bit of Munchausen's. It's sort of nice to, like, not have a choice.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're
like,
sort of,
it takes away choice.
Like, you know, like, when you're, like, on a group vacation and, like, there's just, like, the 3 hours of, like, where we should go for dinner. It's,
Yes.
like, we're going there for dinner, unless you want to swim. You know what I mean? So it's, like, it creates that. So
that's where dinner is.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll be.
It's sort of like when you, like, hook the car into the car wash and now you're, like, we're going. It's, like, that for, like, 5 days.
I like being brainless, too, on vacay.
Yeah.
Are you a type A person?
Or
Or type B?
Okay. Here's my thing. I always say I want there to be a plan, but I'm down for us to deviate from it at any point.
Okay, you're so me.
Yeah, because it's
not
like
committing either way.
No, yeah.
You're so me. Yeah.
But it's sort of like I don't want to go in with no plan, because that means we are going to sit around and be like, what should we do for like 5 hours?
And that's the worst.
And I hate that.
Me too.
But I also, if it's like, if something more fun comes up, let's go.
Yeah,
you know what I
tea.
mean?
I love
think,
that.
And I'm also like, money I've spent in the past never existed. So it's like, do you know what I mean? So like we can buy tickets to something and then people are like, well, we should go, we can spend money on that. But I'm like, but I want to do the other thing. Like the money that I spent, the money I spent on it is not real. Like,
and that wasn't me.
Yeah. If I bought tickets to a concert 6 months ago and then I don't want to go to that concert 6 months later, that's on the artist and they're not seeing you there. Do you know what I mean? You lost me.
Sorry.
And you have my money, but I'm not coming.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. I hate to do this last minute. But
Yeah.
I will not be coming.
I'm calling them. They're like, who are you? I'm like emailing Laura's representation. I'm like, hey, no, I actually love Laura. But like, I'm emailing people being like, hey, like, we had tickets. We're not going to come. I'm so sorry we can't make it. They're like, how'd you get this email? You know, it's like.
Yeah. No, that's actually so real. I like to say I have friends who are much more type A than me.
Yes.
So when they're there, Carrie's one of them. She's right here. When she's there.
She's got 2 screens in front of her right now. Laptop.
Exactly.
She's doing scheduling.
Exactly. She's literally actively working. When she's there, I'm like, I'm brainless.
Yeah.
I'm literally Nicole Kidman and Baby Girl.
Totally.
And she's the tall white guy. I don't remember his name.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that's what I need. Wait, tall white guy. Oh, Harris Dickinson.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
him. Like, and I'm just Nicole Kidman. I'm just there for the ride.
Okay.
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, I like to be, the thing is like I think because, maybe you'll relate to this, because I'm like loud and like a dominant personality and like I will like contribute an opinion. I think people are just like, oh, we can do that. But I'm like, no, I want to be Baby Girl. I want someone to push back, and no one thinks I want to be Baby Girl because I don't shut the fuck up.
Right.
But, like,
Born to be Baby Girl, forced to be the center of attention.
Yeah. Forced by me, and the voices in my head.
I'm like, no, guys, I want to be able to openly complain about the plan. I don't want to make the plan.
I recently ruined a night out so aggressively for my closest friends, where they wanted to. One of my friends like posited a plan. He's like, I want to go to this party. It was in a group chat. I didn't want to go, and so first mistake, instead of saying I don't want to go, I just didn't respond to the text message, which is like cardinal sin. Just say what you don't want to do. I then find out that like a conversation happened in real life when I wasn't there that was like, oh yeah, let's go. And through like a series of like me misunderstanding a few text messages or conversations, everyone got a ticket to this party except me, and then it sold out. So now everyone's betrayed me and I hate them, and I'm truly being like, I threw like a temper tantrum of like a 5-year-old child. I was like, oh, so everyone got a ticket?
Right.
And I was like, there's a toggle menu down where you could have added numbers, and no one thought to call. I live with 2 of you. No one thought to do. They were like, we sent you a text asking if you wanted to go. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't clearly communicate either way. I'm making up excuses either way. Miserable to be around for a week about this. My friend is like, hey, I found a ticket for you. And I was like, amazing. I'm so glad this worked out.
I knew it would.
Like, see, I know it would.
I knew it would. What you speak life into is what comes back.
Here's the thing. But that brought me back to the original point, which is that even before I knew anyone had a ticket, I didn't want to go to this fucking party. Because I knew I wouldn't enjoy it, because you had to wait outside for like an hour and a half in the New York cold. I was like, I'm going to be in a bad mood. And we had already planned to go to a different party that I knew I was going to like beforehand. And we were leaving that party to go to this party. Is there a gun to my head making me go to this party? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
We go to the party that like our friend's party that we're going to before this party with the tickets.
Yes.
We're having a great time. They're like, okay, it's time for us to go to the next party. I don't want to leave. I do leave. I then stay with them the entire time, complaining that we're there. Like, I was the most miserable version of myself, and there was part of me that was being like, you suck to be around right now.
But the parasite's inside me.
Yeah, but there's a demon that is inside me. And then the next morning, I stayed till 3 a.m, and then I was like, I'm gonna go. And it's like, they were like, thank fucking God.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And then it was one of those things where I apologized the next morning. Where I was like, hey guys, I don't really know like what was off in my brain chemistry, but I acknowledge that I was like miserable to be around last night. Like, I'm really sorry about that. Like, that won't happen again. I should have just like done what I wanted to do, and I followed the FOMO, and it was a bad idea. And like sort of expected like the group response to do like the classic, oh no, like you were totally, and everyone was like, you were really bad. Thank you for apologizing.
Yeah, they're like, I forgive you. Yeah. And you're pushing it.
Yeah. And never do it again.
And knock it off.
Yeah.
That's actually so real. I think that's so funny. Even when we go to like Coachella, like when I went to Coachella this year, I'm going to be 30. So
yeah.
Like, I aged out of shit a long time ago. And by that, I mean a lot of standing, a lot of heat, a lot of kind of just looking in the same general direction. Not my idea of a good time anymore.
Totally.
When I was younger, for sure. Now, not so much. So when we go to Coachella, I like go with the most open intentions, just like we were talking about Taco Bell, approaching it with good intentions, right?
So it can't hurt you.
Yeah, so it can't hurt me.
Yeah.
That's how I approach Coachella. I'm like, good intentions.
Totally.
But I reserve the right to do nothing and go nowhere. Like, I tell my friends all the time, if I don't want to go anymore, or I don't want to go till 6 p.m., I hope everyone's cool with that. And we all kind of agree on the same level. We're like, yeah, that sounds good. It's nice going with friends who are the same age, because I feel like if everyone was younger, I'd want to kill myself.
Every story, I've never gone to Coachella, and I can pretty confidently say I never will. I just don't think I will thrive in that space.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like,
it is.
I'm so good at like the sort of party where like we're having like, there's maybe like a small enclosed space with like several rooms that I can bop through and like chat, but then there's like a place to sit down and there's a bar where I can get drinks.
Exactly.
And everyone will be talking about Coachella and then they'll suddenly throw in a detail like it's normal where they're like, and then we had to do the 2-hour walk. And I'm like, and people who are like VIPs.
Like, girl. It's truly planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah.
Like it feels like what parents describe when they take their children to the park and they're like, I just got to burn off the energy. So they go to sleep.
It's like, yeah.
So they nap right at the right time. That's how it feels. It feels like a big, like, and I've gone at least 3 or 4 times at this point.
Yeah.
And each, like, I've gone before I did this. I went again when I did this, and then like whatever. I've had different experiences each time.
Totally.
This past year, I said, no matter how many times I go, I encounter a new obstacle that I thought I conquered the year before. And I said, it starts to feel like the Hunger Games, the second one, when the game master guy goes, he spins the fucking island and he goes, let's see him try to tell time now. That's how it fucking feels every time I go to Coachella. It's like they're spinning the island and I can't make sense of anything.
And everyone's on drugs.
Yes. And unhelpful.
Yeah.
And everybody who's working the event couldn't give a fuck less. So if I ask them for directions, they're like, bitch, I don't.
They're like, I'm trying to stay alive too. Like,
Yeah.
it's sort of like you're asking them for help and they're like, hey, did you notice that I'm also in the desert? Like, you know what I mean? And they're like 22 years old. They're being like, hey, I'm not thriving right now.
Yeah, one of them just tried to sell me drugs, and he's like, you think I know where the parking is? I don't. I'm here for a check, bitch. Like,
parking, and that's the other thing is that the idea of like having to, that everyone's driving there is so crazy. Because like I live in New York. Like I forget people have to drive places outside of New York. Like, you know what I mean? Like I texted,
driving's
I felt
pretty
like
normal.
I'm doing another podcast tomorrow, like with my friend's podcast. And I texted him and I was like, do we drink on your podcast? Can I drive? And he was like, we can drink if you want. And I was like, I'm just so nervous about like, I'm so nervous about ending up somewhere and finding out I have to drive that I didn't know I have to drive or something like that. I just feel like
you're
this
just
car,
constantly worried.
this entire interview, there's my Nissan Sentra that I rented is behind this building and I'm so nervous it got stolen because I'm not used to ever being responsible for a car. I'm like 20% confident I locked it.
Guess you'll find out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I did have, do you know Terry Joe? From TikTok.
All right, that's the first disrespect of the episode. Yeah, I know who Terry Joe is.
When her bitch ass was here, her car got towed.
No.
And that's a fun fact for y'all.
That is my nightmare. Having to come back inside and be like, you guys.
What's absolutely hilarious about it is when I filmed with Keelan, it literally outside, like he was dressed as Terry Joe. I had a Christmas sweater on and the shit was on the hitch. And I was like talking to the guy and I was like, please put it down. Like I'll pay you right now.
Talking to the tow guy
like I was
in Terry Joe.
Yes, I was talking to them and Keelan was standing next to me in the dress, in the wig, and we're both standing on the sidewalk. And I remember someone goes, you know what's crazy is what if someone drove by and go, is that Terry Joe and Drew from TikTok? I bet someone fucking did. I was in the most obnoxious Christmas sweater too.
Oh.
And I convinced the guy to put it down and not tow it. And then I had to I paid the tow guy the fee and everything. And I told Keelan, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is so... The fact that you... in the middle of Los Angeles, that no one took a video of that is like a profound miracle.
I literally was like, I'm not even going to check my tags. I don't want to see them. I don't want to know what the fuck people are saying on there. I don't want to know. So if you did see me, no, you didn't.
I shoot like all my videos outside and it is I've said this before, if anyone takes a video of me filming one of my videos and posts it online, you will never see a video from me again. You will never see a video.
You've retired at that point.
Absolutely. I've been doing it for years now, and I've just like, I'm like, everyone thinks I'm FaceTiming. Like, no one knows I'm filming selfie videos on the, you know, they do. If I see what the outside world sees, like if I find out what it looks like from the outside world, I won't be able to do it again. It won't even be a choice. Every time I go to lift the phone, I'll be like, no.
You'll have the flashback of seeing yourself doing it. Oh my God. To your point earlier about like a preference for a party, you're so T for that of like, I like a nice enclosed space, people I like,
yes,
light bites, maybe some drinks, nice music.
Yes.
I'm with that.
I like that. That's probably my like favorite. And I do love a big party, but my thing is I like it to be inside. The direct sun's a lot. I like it to be inside so that like there's bath. I'm actually not.
I am.
I'm
tough.
A
humongous sweater. It's fucking awful.
That's tough.
Terrible.
That's tough. And there's no like, it's like if there's no escape, like if you're in the middle and there's just no sun, it's like your body's being like, we're asking you to do something. Like we're crying for help. We're crying for help. And you're like, I sweat a lot. And your body's like, for a reason.
Yeah,
move.
Take it. Yeah. No, I fucking agree. And what's funny is one time I got invited to a party after I think it was it was last year I was in New York. I did Met stuff with TikTok for the Met, but I didn't go to the actual Met. And after the actual Met, I got invited to a really exclusive party. I'll tell you about it after, like who it was. But I was like, well, I gotta go to that shit. Like, obviously they invited me. So then I took my fiance and my sister, and I was like, truly, I was dreading going because I was like, I don't want to talk. Oh God, I gotta talk. It's like one of those, it's such a task to go to a party. But when you're old, it's like,
it's also not that, it's not a party with your friends. So all of the conversation is like, it's like all the conversation is the same conversation over and over again. And sometimes you like,
it feels like a resume pitch, honestly.
Yes, you had to, that happened to me the last time I was in LA. I went to a party where it was one of those parties where like a lot of people didn't know each other well. And I realized that every conversation was essentially me pitching myself as a comedian, even though I was not trying to do that. But the questions that they ask, they'd be like, so what are you here for? And when is your show? And when do you do your show?
Yeah,
and
it's like it lends towards that regardless.
And I started to have, and I'm not really, this isn't normally like my vibe, but I did start to have like a minor panic attack. And I was like in the middle of this girl being like, and like, so how many stand-up shows have you? I was like, I actually have to go to the bathroom, and then went in and fully had to like look in the mirror and do breathing exercises to be like, you can do this for another hour. You can get through this. It's like, it's crazy because it's like all we want to ever do is talk about ourselves, kind of.
To some extent.
But then they ask the same questions over and over again, and you're like, can you ask me about my dad? I'm like, I want to go trauma. It's like, I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, can we talk? Like, I'm like, my parents are divorced. Do you want to talk about it? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's like sort of the surface. I get
that.
Yeah.
When I went to this party, I was like, truly like, I was like trying to hype myself up for it. I was like, you're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Also, mind you, I had taken edibles already before I got the
You and I are so different for that.
Yeah. I had already taken them. So I was like, fuck, well, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
So I go to the party. It actually wasn't like a real party. It was, they had rented out like a small Italian restaurant in Brooklyn, like the entire thing. And there was all these tables, and you just sat at a table, and they just brought you food. And,
Boom.
And I said, now this
God
is
chose
my
you
kind
for
of
that
fucking
one.
party.
Yeah, God chose you for that
I
one.
was like sitting, don't have to go anywhere. They just keep bringing me pizza and different kinds of pastas, and I was like, yeah, I'm into that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that. Also, when I'm high as fuck, I was like, this is the greatest night of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you were ready to eat all the food.
And I talked to literally nobody, not one person. I should have, but I didn't. I should have worked that room. I did not.
No.
I did stand there for a while. At one point, my sister was like, oh my God, I think that's the lady from Law & Order SVU. And I go, Mariska Hargitay? I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
I never get starstruck, but I love Law & Order SVU. And I love Olivia Benson. And I said, are you serious? Because I have terrible vision, so I can't see. And she goes, oh, no. She, her name's that's not Mariska. She's like, plays Peter Parker's aunt. I go, oh, Marissa Tomei. And she goes, yeah. And I go, all right, well. I do love her. I just was like, I was about to break my rule of not getting up from my chair to go take a picture with Olivia Benson.
Also, if you had gone up stoned after eating like 9 slices of pizza to Marissa Tomei and been like, I love you on Law & Order SVU, she would have been like, police. Like,
I forgot to mention too, this was after I went to like a different party. So, but you know, the Met theme last year was like ethereal something or other.
Yeah.
So I had a very ethereal, long, like Rapunzel-like braid with my outfit, but then I had to change for the party, but was too lazy to change the hair.
So you kept the braid?
So I was giving like Rapunzel at Disneyland character, and then I had like a jean tight bodycon dress on, and I was like, yeah, now's not probably the time.
Can I ask, when you're wearing like for an event like that, like hot, like really high end fashion like that, how stressful are you about like staining it, ruining it? Like, what is is that?
It depends.
Because my ass it'd be toast.
Yeah, I'm staining regardless. Like, I think everybody's made peace with it. Like,
yeah.
I'm a stainy kind of girl, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I spill on myself all the time. Plus, sometimes for really big events where I do borrow clothes, like, I get spray tanned. So, like, it's natural.
Over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. It's curtains for me, honestly.
Gotcha.
Like, make peace with what the dress looks like.
I guess
after
they
I
have
give
to
it back.
know that you're gonna, if they're renting it out, that
they do, and they
happen.
dry clean it. And most of the time, like, stylists, I think, will dry clean it for you too before they return it. So that's one of those things where I'm like, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you did mention doing stand-up, which I already knew, and you are a stand-up. I would love to know how you got into it.
I got into it. So I moved to New York like 11 years ago, and my first thing was improv. I did a ton of
every
improv.
Great stand-up's origin story. Villain origin story.
Yeah, villain origin story, and also just like the most like annoying version of yourself origin story. You have to
be annoying to do improv.
100%, 100%. But I think I think that like I had always kind of been. I was thinking about this recently. I think that like I learned at a really young age that I enjoyed like retelling stories that had happened and making them as funny as possible.
Right.
And like rehearsing them and sort of being like, oh, I recently remembered like the first story that I kind of did that with. And I was like, oh yeah, like I worked that story as a kid. I would like tell it to anyone, and it was like an embarrassing story for my mom. So she'd be like, please stop. And I'd be like, nah, it's my material.
You're like it's my bit.
I was like, this is my first 10 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, okay, like if you hit that, like people always laugh at that. And I think I really always thought about that a lot. And then I moved to New York and started doing improv and like got addicted to that. So kind of put like I had moved to New York thinking I'll do both, and then just like went all in on improv.
Yeah.
And then was like really involved at the Upright Citizens Brigade.
Oh, cool.
And was doing that. And then that closed for a while when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So then I started making videos because we couldn't do anything else, and I missed performing.
Yeah.
And then when the videos kind of blew up during the pandemic, and so then when like things started to reopen, I just started getting offered more stand-up shows than I had been before, because I had been doing stand-up, but I was like doing so much improv, and then I would do like an open mic here or there. So I wasn't really doing stand-up enough to kind of break from like the open mic tier into the like getting booked on shows tier. And that, I think the videos like just kind of helped me push through that.
Totally.
And then and at that point I was kind of like, I was like, oh, now I'm like writing my own stuff. And like, cause improv, you do a show, you're back to sure one at the end. Like you don't have anything, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so then I really started to fall in love with like writing stand-up, doing shows, like figuring out, figuring out like a show and a set. And then it kind of just built over the last, I guess like now 5 years.
That's so awesome.
So it was like the pandemic was like a huge kind of pivot in it. I don't know that I would have gone back to it had that not happened.
Yeah. You're actually so real for that too. Cause that's kind of how I started making videos, was telling stories. Like that was kind of the thing, was talking about things that I found funny.
Yes.
And I've talked about that sometimes on like my other podcast with my sister, where I've said like, my whole thing is like, I want you to laugh at my jokes. But I'm not asking you what's funny. I'm making you watch what I find funny.
Well, that's exactly what it was, because I feel like my feeling about it when I was a kid was like something funny happened to me. It'd be like something funny happened to me and I wish you were there to see it too.
Exactly.
So I have to tell it to you as perfectly as possible so that you laugh as hard when I tell it to you as if you had been there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And I feel like that was why, and I think that's why with stand-up now, I lean so much more into like trying to talk about things that I think are true, or like doing observational stuff, because jokes, I have so much respect for comics who do jokes that are like totally absurd and kind of like you know, like funny lies or kind of like subversions of things.
Yeah, they're like distant from them.
Yes, but like I actually am like incapable of writing those, because that's like so the opposite avenue I came at it from.
That's actually so true too. I was recently, because I've done stand up twice now.
I'm sure you're killer at it.
Thank you. I did a 5 for Caleb and Chris Fleming, which was like a huge a lineup to even be a part of. I was like, you guys made a big mistake booking me. Sorry. But I did that, and then I did a 20 recently, which like when I did my 5, I was like telling my team after, like I felt a little stiff in it, because even though I've performed live many times, like stand up was so different for me, and I love stand up. I have so much respect for the art form. That's why so many of my friends are comics, and a lot of you bitches are mean, so that all kind of works out. Like we are one and the same, birds of a feather, you know? Yeah. And so I felt like when I first wrote my 5, I felt almost chained to the material, because in my head I was like, well, I have to memorize this exactly the way I wrote it. Yeah. Whereas like what is fun for me in telling jokes is kind of like leaving the space a little bit open to kind of divert from it.
Well, I bet because I bet you and I are similar in the way where the way you're going to memorize it is by doing it on stage. Because
exactly.
Once a certain like rhythm or cadence of something gets a big laugh, I'll never forget it.
Yes.
Because then I'm like, that worked. And like, I'm addicted to that. So then it's like, I know if I say this like that, it'll get a laugh, and then I never forget it.
Yeah. Because I wrote them so literally when I wrote my jokes out, I wrote them like as if I was telling them, even with like pauses, breaks, that kind of thing, to kind of practice it. And then I felt like I need to memorize that exactly. But when I tell stories, I always hit the same points that I know make everybody laugh.
Yes.
But sometimes I divert depending on the room, like depending on who's listening
Oh,
to
100%.
me. I'll like hit some other points harder than others if I feel like they'll laugh at something.
Yeah.
And I think obviously you've been doing stand-up forever, way longer than me. So I'm sure you've noticed too, like, do you have any favorite places to do stand-up? Like any ones where you're like, I'm going to hit every time there?
Yeah, I mean, New York is home, so New York is always the best.
Yeah.
Chicago is always great.
Oh, nice.
That's
fun.
Oh, I've always like loved Chicago shows. I think that like, cause like Chicago's like one of the few cities that still has like a going out to see live comedy like culture.
That's
it's
so
like
true.
part of their thing.
Totally.
And also, and like, sorry, problematic, sue me. They're drinking town and I love it. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like
they're more fun when they drink.
100%.
I
mean,
there's a big risk with it, but there's fun.
There's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I did my other favorite place. I'm obsessed with Provincetown. It's like one of my favorite places, and I've done Provincetown 3 times now.
Is that what they call P-Town?
P-Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gays don't have time. We can't say province. It's like everything has to get shortened. But the first time I did P-Town was the first time I ever played P-Town was the Sunday of Labor Day weekend at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And in Provincetown, people start drinking at like noon.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this. I'm backstage. It was like sold out show. I was super excited. I was like nervous also because like, well, let's also be serious. Like this is like a gay vacation town. I had been there for weeks. So it's like I've hooked up with half the audience at this point. Like, do you know what I mean?
You're looking at a real sister wife situation.
So like I've hooked up with like a quarter of the audience. I'm trying to hook up with another quarter. And then half of them are like,
and don't ruin this for me.
No, well, I'm sort of like it's like, because like anytime someone is willing to like engage with me romantically after I have performed live comedy in front of them, I'm like, I either must be good or you have a brain injury, because like there's no way. Like the most unsexy thing in the world is being bad at comedy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Like the most.
I made that joke once where I was like, imagine like, because one girl told me that her ex used to do, what was it? What's the character? Ace Ventura. She said he used to do an Ace Ventura impression at every party they went to. And I said, was it good? She said, no. And I said, damn.
You got past 2 parties? Like,
no shit. Or one. I would have been like, and you know what's funny? I was like, you know what's worse is like they tell a joke, it flops, doesn't land, and then you got to go home with him.
No.
You carpool.
Do you know? Okay, I did improv in New York City for 6 years. I watched women sit and watch their men do the most horrific shit on stage you've ever seen, and then come off stage and be like, good show, baby. Like, and I was like, heterosexuality is a sickness. Like, this is crazy. Like, crazy.
You bitches are brainwashed.
You bitches are brainwashed. Like, I'd watch a man tag every person off stage to do a solo scene where they like gave birth to a rhinoceros. They played the person giving birth and the rhinoceros, thought it was funny. Woman would try to walk on. They'd be like, no, like, you know what I mean? And then their girlfriend would be like, good job, baby. And I was like, something is happening here. Like there's a darkness here.
Right.
No, but
okay, so you're at P-Town.
I'm at so they're
in
like
P-Town.
And I was like, and I was thinking like, I bet people are wasted. Like, cause I went to, there's a party that happens from 4 to 7 every day called Tea. It's like a huge party on the dock. Okay. I had gone to it because my show wasn't until 9.
Yeah.
And I didn't really drink or anything, but I was there and I was like, well, people are lit here and my show's in 4 hours. So like, how's this gonna go? So I was backstage, like kind of like nervous. I was like, I wonder what the vibe's gonna be. And they're like, welcome to the stage, Jake Cornell. I come around the curtain. As I'm walking to the mic, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people dead asleep. Like sold out crowd, and in the front part I can see in the light there are 7 people asleep, and so I was like sick. And so then
love that
the whole show was playing to like I would say half the audience like was asleep or falling asleep during it because they were so drunk that they were like fighting to stay awake, like to the point where I was like, do we need a medic? Like I saw one person who was like at one point, like,
it's like artists that like are like, guys, pause the music.
No, Renee Rapp's having to tell someone, yeah, like literally.
They need someone.
Me going, stop the track. It's me doing stand up alone. Stop the track. You know? They're like, I'm like, it's too hot. Like it's air conditioned. Right. No, you're just not funny enough and they're drunk. Sorry. No, but then I would do, and it was like, so then it would be half the audience was laughing, half was asleep. And then there was like this really demonic situation where there was like 4 people at the back that were so like just drunk enough that they got every joke on like a 30-second delay. So I would tell a joke, audience would laugh, I'd start telling the next joke, and then they'd be like, oh, because it was a dog. Like they would just yell like over
like,
it.
Oh, that was a good one.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah. Playing to drunk people is truly like, it's hit or miss, because like sometimes they're way more fun when they're a little loose.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they take that as an opportunity to have their 5 minutes of fame. Like they're like, now is my chance.
Have you dealt with like like hecklers or just like disruptive people before?
Yeah, I have. Like, and they were at like my tour shows, so it wasn't like a random, which I think is harder or can be harder depending on the situation. For me, it would be easier if it was someone who didn't specifically buy a ticket to come watch me.
Well, I think it is harder when they,
Yeah.
you're like, they like you. You don't want, so it's like, you can't, because you're like,
You're
I mean,
right,
we
yeah.
both could like destroy them.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
like,
When
but
it's
you
a
don't-
stranger, it's better for me.
Absolutely.
I agree. And so I have had that. Have you had that?
Not so to finish answering your question before, like those cities were like really, really fun to play, but I have
Yeah.
had a couple cities where like I've recently started playing clubs in some cities where, because normally like if I play, it's like most people who are there bought a ticket to come see me.
Right.
But I recently played played a club that was in a town that had a ton of conventions in town.
Okay.
Like there's like a ton of big convention hotels around the club.
Right.
So there were people there to see me, but also there was like there was like a large number of people who clearly just like for like the later show, because I did like a 5-show weekend. So it was like
Yeah.
there was later shows on Friday and Saturday. I think that there were people that just kind of had truly been like, well, what do we do at 10 o'clock in this town or 11 o'clock or whatever it was, and bought tickets to me not knowing, just like bought tickets to like the comedy club.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people that don't know me. So I had my first where in like the first, I don't know, minute and a half, I mentioned I was gay, and one guy in the front row goes, oh. And
Damn.
I was like, sweetie, you leave now or you're in for a rough hour.
Oh, yeah, lock in.
Because like, also the fact that it took you 90 seconds is crazy.
Oh God.
You can see my shoulders. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Your girl, I know you heard my voice.
Yeah.
You knew without me having to tell you.
I made a video yesterday about how straight people I don't understand them. All love to your culture, but like.
No, it's okay. We'll talk shit on them. They're not here.
I made a video yesterday about how it hurts my feelings when gay flight attendants don't like give me a special little nod of like, hey, gay guy. I just like need like some like gay guy moment.
Yeah, we need like.
And a bunch of people were commenting like, they probably don't know you're gay. I was like, they know.
Trust me. They know.
They know.
And they know when you're gay too.
And have you ever had like, sometimes people like will pull you aside, like straight people will be like, how do you tell? And it's like, how do you not? I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, I've never in my life had to guess.
to me, it is quite literally like putting a bunch of donkeys in a field and being like, how do you tell which ones are zebras? It's like, because they're zebras. Because y'all have a bunch of donkeys out there, and then there's the zebras, and the zebras are gay.
And there's one fucking
Yeah,
zebra.
like, it's like-
and he's doing this, so.
like sometimes I feel like people will do it about like little kids who obviously they're not going to come out yet because they're like small children, but maybe they're starting to like show signs of their powers.
Right.
And like someone will be like, do you think like Teddy might be? And literally he's like in the living room in an Elsa dress, like, ah! And it's like, yeah.
Yes.
You know what? I think you might be onto something, Donna. Like,
that reminds me, I just posted a cut down when I filmed with Joe and Andrew from Good Children.
my favorite people.
Fucking love them.
Wait, can I also say I listened to that episode and they were like, when we go to Pride under some fucking bridge, I invited them about that party. That was my idea to go to that
Under
party.
the fucking Brooklyn Bridge.
It was like,
mind
no, it was.
you.
Oh, you wish it was the Brooklyn Bridge. It was the Kosciuszko Bridge. Because if it was under the Brooklyn Bridge, it would have been a boat party. That's fine. We were under an it was
Overpass.
like an overpass on the ground, concrete.
Oh yeah, that was concrete. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And the party was not fun, and I felt so bad. And it was 3 years ago, and it was the first thing they brought up when you said like they're like, we don't do that. I was like, well, they did when it was my idea.
Yeah,
so.
no, and they said they were like, we went to VIP. It was just a fence.
So I will take. They text me back. I got there. I did not buy VIP because I was like, and they were like,
Once again, you're left out of the ticket buying.
But that time, no, but it was like the kind of thing where I was like, let's check this out. It's like a $25 ticket. They bought the VIP, which was like 150. And I showed up and I was like, no, we weren't supposed to do that. Like,
And your experience was terrible.
yeah.
Like your $100 experience was terrible.
Yeah, and
should have done 25.
should have done 25. And as I said, I was like, well, the money's in the past. Like we can leave it up, but I couldn't do that because I was like, y'all sent $300 to me here. Like,
And when I was talking to them, I posted a cut down where I'm saying like, talking to straight people is taxing. It's boring.
Yes.
Right? And then Joe goes, I just can't talk about Survivor anymore. I just can't. And we're laughing. In the comments, someone wrote a funny ass joke where they said, let me just list the restaurants I've been to for the next 45 minutes, which is like so funny. But to that same point, I got so many comments from people that were like, aren't you straight? Yeah, I am. What does that have to do with me making fun of y'all? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, what does that have to do with it? What the fuck are you talking about? And I was literally...
Also, if you're a straight person and a gay person and a straight person are making fun of you, we've chosen that straight person. You don't get to say. Do you know what I mean?
Also, I'm also straight. I can make fun of us. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fucking fine. And honestly, one time I was making this joke with Caleb and my sister, and I was like, if anything, that's proof that you're straight because you're fucking annoying.
Yeah. Oh.
It's proof you're straight. Actually, I know for a fact you're straight because you're fucking annoying and can't take a joke.
Straight people and white people, and especially straight white people, are obsessed with doing like a sick comeback by stating a basic fact, and it's like, we all knew that, sweetie. What?
Yeah. I got a comment that was like on that same video that was like, wow, and imagine if I said this about gay people. I said, they actually say way worse things about gay people, believe it or not. They're actually saying way worse things than you're fucking boring. Yeah. And also, it would be a lie.
Yeah.
if someone ever made a video saying gay people are boring to talk to, you're a liar. You're a 1,000% a liar.
100%. And the other thing is, it's like, we are not coming, like, this is what straight people don't understand with that argument, is like, they're like, wow, you said like gay people talking about straight people is so fucked up. And it's like, okay, so you're coming to gay people and talking about how they're bad for being gay.
Right.
We're coming to straight people and talking about how you're bad for everything the fuck else you do.
Yeah. For
how you dress, how you eat, how you talk,
yeah, all
how you make art.
Yeah, exactly. All of it's bad. So
I actually think your sex is fine. I have no issue with you guys having sex with each other. It seems like you actually guys have a problem with that a lot of the time. It actually seems like you guys have like huge problems with that specifically. You have a bigger problem with your sexuality than gay people do. And let's be really clear about that. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it actually seems like that's like your number one struggle.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I was like, I don't know what about me makes you think I'm gonna give a fuck about joking about how boring straight people are. It's fucking true. That's why I laughed so hard when someone said, "Let me just list the restaurants I've been to for an hour," because that is what the fuck they do. Like, we be doing that.
If you need proof that straight people are boring, go to a straight wedding and see how every straight person is walking up to that event like they're about to have the biggest fucking night of their lives. They're like, we're gonna never forget this night. And I'm like, it ends at 11.
They love a wedding.
It ends at 11.
Notice how I'm talking about them as if they're a third person, because I don't relate to that.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. And I've said before, all of my friends are gay or part of the community in some form or fashion. Yeah. Me and my fiance are most... I'd say with the exception of like maybe one or two people, I'm a token straight for most people. 100%. And a lot of times I'll talk to, especially my lesbian friends, I'll talk to them and they'll be like, I always forget you're straight. That really pisses me off. Like they get like annoyed at me. It's like the realization comes back and they're like, oh, I forgot about that. Fuck.
Yeah, but I think that's because you're not doing it all in my face. You know what I mean? Like you're not.
Whatever you do behind closed doors is none of my business. I just don't want it shoved in my face.
You're not but you make up for it. You're doing all the right things to kind of fix it. You know what I mean? You're seeing your problem and you're saying, I'm going to be funny.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to be on. You've read the texts.
Yes,
you know
I have.
the
mean? Ancient texts.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's so funny because sometimes when I look back, I'm like, everything I've ever loved has been universally loved by gay people, like, or women, or both.
100%.
And I was like, in 2009, when Lady Gaga like had Poker Face and Bad Romance and all that shit, my sister and I were spending hours learning the choreography to Bad Romance and then showing other people. I was like 14 at the time too, so I wasn't a child.
No,
I was a full-blown teen.
And that really was the litmus test, was when Fame Monster came out. Right. That was really, I think, when those Lady Gaga black and white photos dropped, that was really when it was like, so now there's two sides. And it's mostly gay and straight, but then there's some straight people who have said, I can see what's happening over here.
She's cooking.
Yeah, she's cooking.
Wait
she's
on
cooking
her.
And I'm the ingredient. It's like I'm getting cooked. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm curious though, like what's the weirdest or like worst experience you've had doing stand-up?
What's the weirdest or worst experience I've had doing stand-up? I have one. This was bad. I once, before I wrote the show, before I had the hour that I'm doing now, I had a different idea for a different hour.
Right.
And it was about like a totally different topic, and it was like a totally different, like, it was kind of, because with both of them, it was kind of like, I had these like sort of like collection of jokes where I was like, oh wait, I think I could expand this into this bigger thing. And then,
totally.
And so I had it with a different kind of set of material where I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it into this big thing. And I did like announced, so I was working on it, and with both shows, what I did, I need like a deadline.
Yeah.
So I set a deadline where it's like, I book a show that it's like, well, you have to, like, I booked a show at a theater.
So you have no choice but
So it's
to
like,
be
well,
ready.
people are buying tickets to this thing, so you
Yeah.
have to have it done and written by then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So the first time I did that was with this other show, and I was working on it, and I had the pieces, and I think because it was my first time putting together a full hour, I thought, kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
I like, with the kind of like, there's certain stuff I have to figure out on stage.
Yes.
I overestimated how much needed to be figured out on stage and did not put enough of the pieces together or really look at it as a whole.
Right.
And so I was like, and I announced it. I announced it as a work in progress show, which I'll
Right.
also never do again, because it's sort of being like, hey, come see this thing that might suck shit. And it's like, just
Yeah.
present it as good.
Yeah, you're like, it's almost like keeping a back door for yourself, but it's handicapping you almost.
Well, it
like
gave
hindering
me
you.
a back door that I then did fall through.
Yes.
It's like presented as a full show, because I will take the easy way out if I don't take it away for myself. So I should have
I
taken it
admire
away.
you for that. Yeah. That's a really scary way to work.
But
it
what
looks like it
happened
works.
was I booked the show and didn't really think to like I didn't really think about like who that like anyone could buy tickets. And I get there and it's like someone I'm kind of hooking up with, someone I'm wanting to hook up with, like some comedians I kind of respect, friends I haven't seen in years. And I'm like, no, this was supposed to all be strangers. Like, you're supposed to come to like the show when it's like good. Like, none of
now you guys want to support me?
Yeah. And then I got also something, I have a story to tell you after about what had happened with one of these people.
I would love to hear it.
Which is also kind of like why my brain was feeling crazy at the time. Mm-hmm. I get on stage. I start doing, the two openers were good. Like, they did a great job. Audience is warm. I get on stage. I like get 15 minutes into the show. And all of a sudden it's like, the audience was laughing. Like, I wasn't bombing, but I knew I had to do 45 more minutes. And I just had this moment where like my whole brain went quiet. And like, I just heard myself go, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I realized what like the thesis of the show was.
You're
and I was
like bailing mid-set.
like, but it was like, I was like, don't bail on yourself. But like, it
Right.
was like this conversation between me and myself where it was like, no, you're not bailing on yourself. This sucks. Like, it was like, there was like, it was like almost like I hadn't like said enough of it out loud when I was writing it. And
Right.
as I was saying it, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it wasn't
Right.
like, it was like hitting, but not in the right way. And I was like, I can't land this plane because I didn't build a plane. It's over. And so I just pivoted to kind of just doing like looser stand-up for the whole thing
Right.
and got off stage. And afterwards, and like the show wasn't that bad, but I felt the need to apologize to every person I knew in the audience after. And my friend was like, stop doing that.
It's
People
weird.
just want, people were kind of laughing like, you weren't that bad. And they walked up to me
it's
and being like,
weird.
I'm so sorry about that. Like, it was like, you would have thought that I had like talked about their mom specifically and said nothing nice. Like, it was like, and they were like, stop doing that. Please.
Please.
Yeah.
Guys, please.
Guys.
That's my friend.
Oh my, I fucking hate when you're talking shit about yourself and someone's like, don't talk about my friend that way. I'm like, don't talk to your friend that way.
Shut up.
Don't talk to your friend that way. Let me be mean to myself.
Do you have any Virgo in your chart? I know you said you're a Scorpio.
No, Capricorn rising though. It's that.
T.
It's
T.
that. It's like,
yeah, the workhorse. I was going
The-
to say you're very, you being able to like leave your body for a sec, watch yourself and critique your set live.
Yeah. That's like my greatest, I feel like that's my greatest skill and my greatest
Detriment, probably.
detriment,
Mhm.
especially when I'm trying to like write like something like an essay or like write like writing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will edit so much as I'm writing because I'm criticizing it so much that I'll be like, cool, 3 hours, 1 paragraph. Sick. And I was typing the whole time, but it's like, no. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
because like.
You're
you just-
self-correcting.
Yeah, instead of just like letting it be bad on the first and then going back. And I think that's why I think that was the thing that drove me to improv and stand-up is like, I need the audience in front of me to like make it so that I just have to keep going.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
holds you,
totally. It's
accountable
like
in
kind of
that
holding
way.
your own feet to the fire.
Yeah.
And committing to your work.
Yes.
Because it is good and you know it's good.
Yes.
But then live, sometimes you're like, hate it. Like,
Yeah, this is actively bad. I want to get off the stage.
are there any cities that you're like Never good, never fun, not going there again. Joel Kim Booster told me, he's like, oh yeah, Tucson, Arizona, never again. Arizona as a whole. He's like, they burned me multiple times.
Yeah, I think that one, so the club, I want to be clear if anyone from the club sees this, I really enjoyed the club I worked at, but Indianapolis and I did not vibe. I was just not connecting with her. It was not like, it was not the audience. It was the
vibes were off.
Yeah, people in the audience being like, oh, gay guy. And I was like, ugh, straight guy. Like, I don't know, like, just like that. And also it was like their NBA team was in the middle of the NBA finals while I was playing.
Yeah, the Pacers.
Yeah. Thank you for and she is straight. And you saw that?
And you saw it live.
Saw that.
That's live.
The Pacers. Faggot.
They bleeped that part. I was like saying it more so for myself.
That's the other thing that'll be really jarring about being around when you are around straight people who aren't around gay people that like often is you'll casually drop a faggot and they're like, oh. Because me and my friends are saying it all the time. You say it in front of like a straight person who's not like around gay people a lot. You literally, can tell. It's oh my god.
Yeah, I literally when I was with Trixie last, she was telling me, she goes, do you say it? Come on, do you say it? And I was like, shut the fuck up. No, I don't. And I said, but I'll tell you this. Every gay friend I have that I know and love has always been like, you can say it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do that shit, you weirdo. Every time they said, I'm like, that's a test and I'm going to pass it. That's how I feel. But you're right. That does jar them.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect you for not saying it. I think you can say it, but I think it's so chic. But I think it's so chic to not. Yeah. Because if you did, I know part of you would be like, so she chose to say it. Like, there would be a part of me that would be like,
I know how you gays are. That's why I was like, no, you're not getting me, girl.
It's sort of like when you're at a restaurant and you offer someone a bite of something you don't want to share. Do you know what I mean? You're like, do you want a bite of this cake? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, fine. You know?
Right.
Sick. I actually really like the cake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you know that.
Yeah.
So. I think that's fair. I think Indianapolis not vibing with you kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And no offense to the gay people who I saw in Indianapolis, I did really love. Also, something really crazy happened, which was like I try to go to a gay bar after every show to see like local gay bars in like the different. Cool. I think it's like
that's fun,
especially because like you know in New York and LA and in Chicago, like the gay bars are like very fun, but also like they're in cities where like it's pretty kosher to be gay. All right.
Yeah,
you know what
totally.
I mean? Going to like gay bars in like smaller cities where like that gay bar is like actually their like haven is so magical.
Oh,
like
that's
it's
beautiful.
Such a better vibe.
I think that's wonderful.
And not better. I don't want because I love my gay bars in New York.
It's just a different experience.
It's just a different vibe and it has like this thing that's like really special. And so I try to go to like one after every show or every time I'm in a city, just like see when I get the vibe.
Yeah.
It's like something to do because sometimes you're in these cities like alone. You know what I mean? It's like it's a fun like activity. But I went in Indianapolis, I was like asking at the shows, I was like, oh, like what are the fun gay bars? And everyone was like, Greg's, you got to go to Greg's. And so I put it in Google Maps, and it turns out someone had just saved their friend's house, Greg, in Google Maps, but accidentally as a public location, just some house like in the middle of nowhere.
Perfect.
Really far out of town. And the car, it was driving and I was like, I think this is wrong. And then I look at the photo and it's just a man's front door. And I was like, turn the car around. No, I was like, Indianapolis doesn't want me here.
I don't think I'll be going to Greg's.
No, I don't think Greg is expecting me because he's a civilian.
That's honestly a really funny joke if they just got you for that.
My friend, one of the most iconic things my friend ever did was one time she was drunk. My friend, shout out Melissa Rich, comedian in New York. She was drunk and she thought it'd be funny to save her apartment as a Kinko's in Google Maps. And then people started calling her asking her to get shit printed. And she felt bad and she has a printer. So she just started printing shit for people for free. And so like I'd be at her apartment and stuff would be printing and she'd be like, I got an order. Like,
sorry,
it's people calling her cell phone.
My 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5.
I was with her and she was on the phone and she's like, no, I can't do color.
You're like, you don't have to do this.
Like, she's like, I put it in the maps. And whenever I would like go to visit her, she's moved now, but when I would go to her place, I would type in Kinko's in Google Maps. Because also, the funniest thing, it was only The reason it also worked is the only people that ever called her were old as fuck because Kinko's closed like 20 years ago. It's FedEx office.
I was gonna say,
so
what year
it
did
was
she do
always
this?
like some like old Lower East Side person who was like, I need a form, and Eunice was like, I got you, baby, I got you, baby, you know. And so it was my favorite thing.
Giving back to the community.
Absolutely,
we love that.
Yes.
To your point about not vibing with Indianapolis, like, do you ever notice that when you're touring, especially like if you're going to different cities, like how some cities love certain jokes, other cities it doesn't hit as hard?
I would say the biggest litmus test is in my hour right now. I have like probably like a 10-minute section where I go in pretty hard on marriage, like the concept of marriage.
Yeah.
And like that shit hits different in the South. And then like, you know what I mean? Like that really, like I go in on like the concept, like I don't think most married people are happy. And like up north people are like, yeah. And like in Raleigh people were like, what? You know what I mean? It gets like tight fast.
They're like, don't.
Like it's like there's jokes that you like I leave full laugh breaks for in certain cities that in others it's like you actually have to say the punchline so fast they're gonna get so mad. You know what I mean? Like or like the second punchline. You know what I mean? Where you kind of like reveal the other side of the joke.
You gotta kind of speed through it.
One time, like I have this line in it where I say like, have you ever met a happy married person? And it's like in the context of like a larger joke, but I say, have you ever met a happy married person? And in one time, this woman in the audience went, yes.
Did you laugh?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, all right.
I was like, ooh, seems like you needed that.
Yeah,
like, you
tears,
know what I mean?
tears in her eyes. Yes, of course I have.
Of course.
Straight person.
Straight person.
See, can't laugh. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
absolutely.
That's how I know you're straight.
Yeah.
No sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was touring last year, we did like 3 shows in Texas. And I remember in Dallas, for some reason, I don't even remember. Oh, because we watched this movie on the tour, but we watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes on the tour bus. And we love Planet of the Apes, that universe. For some reason, we really enjoy those movies. So like we watched it. It was kind of on my brain.
Yeah.
So I kept making this joke. I made it one time in the beginning, like in the opener for probably like the first 20 minutes. I made like apes together, strong, right? Like, cause I was telling them that's you guys when I'm up here, you guys apes together, strong. You just copy what I tell you to do because you're good noodles. And it killed. It killed every time I said it to the point where I kept going back to the well, right? Like throughout the entire hour. Then the next night, I think we went to Houston. And in Houston, within the first 20 minutes, again, I'm thinking not too far from Dallas, right? Obviously, they're loving chimp jokes.
Yeah.
So then the next one, I go, apes together, strong. Not one laugh. I said, wow, perfect. Put that on the shelf. Not going to touch that again.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't make one more ape joke the rest of the tour.
I've had a joke bomb so bad that I've never done it again. And it killed for a year. I had a joke that killed for a year. And one time it bombed so bad that I literally went, I said the joke. The audience changed so succinctly, so intensely, so suddenly. And I went, I like stopped and I went, I have to be honest with you, an audience has never reacted to me this way.
I'm actually kind of still processing.
And they all kind of laughed. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to now keep going with the joke because they're back. Right back. They were like, and we hate you again.
So you're going back to that joke.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I've not done it in like 2 years. And I have a couple of friends that are like, I like that joke, do it again. And I'm like, it's dead. It's locked away.
It's dead.
That's in the Disney vault.
I'm never touching her.
No, it can't happen again. It can't happen again. No.
Recently when I did the 20-minute set, I worked in some jokes about Love Island because Love Island is so popular right now.
Yeah.
Are you watching it?
Love Island is one of those shows that I absorb through osmosis.
Me
like
too.
From Twitter and from friends.
Same.
And then I have one really good friend, Olivia, shout out, who she's really good sometimes. Like right before I get on the treadmill, I'll text her like, can you like explain to me this? And then she'll give me like a 20-minute voice note.
Love.
Press play, personal
Love
podcast.
friends like that. That's like all my friends, because I watch the same like 3-4 things over and over again. Don't diagnose me. I don't know what it is, but that's just what I do.
Can I ask what they are?
Oh yeah, I watch Bob's Burgers is in my rotation
Respect.
right now. Modern Family was in my rotation for a very long time. I think Modern Family is one of the funniest sitcoms ever written for
Yeah,
TV.
it's hard for me to watch now because like sometimes when I've been like a little too excited on the internet, a Gen Z person will comment on my videos, come on, Cam from Modern Family, and that is hard.
And it feels triggering.
I'm like,
so
that's not good. I
hate that. I had The Office in there for a minute. I know a lot of people hate that show for whatever reason.
A lot more people like it. It's just that the people who hate it are loud.
And that's true. And you know what I think too? I'm like, I get if it's almost like this similar to Friends where I'm like, the people who love it are awful sometimes. And I think that clouds people's judgment of it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So those are like kind of my things. What about you? Do you watch new stuff or are you more of a
I'm not
rotator?
much of a rewatcher except for Sex and the City. I recently was brought I had a 2 milligram weed soda. And my friend just casually texted me a TikTok that was like an edit of Carrie Bradshaw and David by Lorde off the new Lorde album.
Right.
Full pressure tears. I've watched it 60 times. I can't stop watching this TikTok.
Can I tell you, I've never actually watched Sex and the City all the way through.
Because you don't connect with it? You don't like it?
No, I've just never, I think it was like, I was young at the time it was poppin', and then I just haven't like really even ventured towards it.
So, okay, I have a similar, kind of similar trajectory, which
Right.
is that I didn't watch it at all because we didn't have HBO when I was a kid.
Right, same.
So, I knew that the TBS one was edited, so I was like, I'm not watching the edited one. And then when I moved to New York, I was a bartender until I was able to be a full-time comedian.
Right.
And two of the main restaurants I worked at for like years were really popular brunch restaurants in like Lower Manhattan.
See?
And that was like 2014 to 2018, 19, like white woman brunch culture. Mm-hmm. That's my Vietnam. Do you know what I mean? Like that's me in the trenches.
Absolutely.
And I kind of associated those women with people who had moved to New York City to kind of do their Sex and the City cosplay,
right.
like do their
live their Carrie Bradshaw fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, like we had and they would say as much, you know what I mean? And so I had this like profound resentment of the show, and I was like, fuck that show. Like I hate what it's done to the city. I hate what it's done. And then my ex, when we were still together during the pandemic, he was like, I know what it was. I got a job doing a podcast that was like about New York City restaurant and nightlife culture. And
right.
It was like my ex and a couple of friends were like, it is so influential on that you kind of have to watch it if you're going to have a podcast where you're talking about it.
Research
and I was like,
purposes.
And I was like, yeah, fine, I'll watch it for research. 3 episodes in, I was like,
You said, you know what? I judged too quickly.
Oh, and I was like, and now it's like I'm like leaving conversations at a party to be like, hey, are you talking shit on Carrie? What's up? Like I go over, I'm like I haven't been like I'm like defending it I think it is like I've met Michael Patrick King twice. I like adore him. Yeah. I like adore that man.
Yeah.
I like love that show so much now.
One of my besties, she recently watched it for the first time, and she's like, you got to get into it, bitch.
And I think
like,
what's
good.
interesting is I feel like, because it's like 6 seasons, I feel like there's no, like, I remember like with like Schitt's Creek, everyone was, which I haven't watched, but everyone would be like, you got to get to the end of season 2 and then it clicks and you're in love with it. Which like is, and then they like love all of it. But I remember that was like, everyone said like, there's just one specific point where if you get there, you'll fall in love with it.
Right.
I feel like with Sex and the City, it's that click moment is there for everyone, but it's
right.
at a different point in the show. Like when you fall in love with it.
Okay.
Because there's like different aspects of what it does in terms of like talking about relationships and friendships that
right.
I think when it hits the one that hits for you, you're like, oh, fuck.
I saw one of my friends on TikTok recently do like what I thought, she's a comedian, so it was really funny, but it was like very profound, honestly, when she had that picture of from Sex and the City where Carrie's at Mr. Big's store and she has the top hat on. And so like, yeah, exactly. And it's like the cringe to end all cringe, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
But she was saying in the video, she goes, I love to sit on a high horse and judge Carrie because she does the most humiliating things in the world. But she was saying,
sorry.
She said, but that being said, that's how I used to see her. Now I think to myself, you have to be like another level of confident to do shit like that. Like at anything now, she's got an admirer in me.
Don't you feel like I go back and watch a TikTok I posted 3 years ago and I'm like, that's Carrie at the door, baby.
Yes,
like,
yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
like,
and she was saying like
cringe.
Maybe she's ahead of people because she's let go of being cringe and she's just fully being herself.
Yes.
And maybe that is cringe to some people.
You have to live life being empathic towards other people and caring about other people, but you also have to live for yourself and live for your own POV and not live, like you have to be kind to other people and be considerate of other people, but you also don't have to live for how they perceive you. Like you have to live, like,
absolutely.
And
you're getting passionate about Carrie?
Yeah, I'll get hot right now. Like it's crazy. I love it so much. Never watch the second movie. Drew. Never watch the second movie.
Noted.
And here's the thing, you don't fucking need to. It is like inconsequential to the plot of like if like, you know what I mean? But
how many are there? Is there 3?
There's 6 seasons of the show,
right.
2 movies, and just like that.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And that's the spin-off show, or is it just an extension of the show?
It's, I mean, I guess you could call it either. It's like you join in with the characters minus Samantha,
right.
like 20 years later or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I might have to lock in. Honestly, I've been seeing a lot of signs lately that I should watch that show.
Yeah.
You may have convinced me.
Do you know what I wonder is one of the things that maybe because you've been in a healthy relationship for so long. Do you know what I mean? Because like, so much of the show is about like dating and how much of a nightmare it is, and you've been over here with this like wonderful man this entire time.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't really see myself represented.
All your friends, like you're like cuddled up next to him, and you're like, I don't really see what people see in that show. It's like, yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why.
Honestly, and I saw a lot of people say too, it's different. It's a different experience watching it when you're like in your late 20s, 30s. Like it's a different experience watching it because it's like it feels a lot more real when you're watching it. Whereas like when you watch it when you're younger, you're like, oh, that would be crazy.
I think that's also part of it is that I started watching it because I'm like a little older than you. I started watching it when I'm 32. So I think I started watching it when I was like 30, which is like right around the age Carrie is when it starts.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, this, even though it's like a completely different New York City,
right?
Like than what I live in now, yeah. I was like, oh, like, but this time in your life, I understand.
Would you say that's your favorite show of all time? Or do you have a fave?
Well, there's different ones. Like Charmed raised me. You have to understand that. Like I
never watched Charmed, but I've seen it. Like obviously I've watched episodes, but I've never watched it.
Charmed raised me. That's like in my DNA. That's in my like cells.
Right.
And like there's other shows like dramas and stuff, but I would say Sex and the City is one of them, and it's the one I rewatch the most. It's my most like comfort show.
What are other shows you like?
Buffy is a classic. That one's huge.
When you said Charmed, I was literally thinking you probably love Buffy too.
Yeah. But this is the thing is that every gay guy loves Buffy, and Buffy is like the the more like scholarly one to like. You know what I mean?
Than Charmed?
Yeah. No, I think so. Like because it's a little bit more highbrow, to be honest with you.
Right.
Charmed is a little bit more like CP English. You know what I mean? Not honors. You know.
That makes sense.
But I fuck with both of those. Those were like big for me when I was young. I love, wait, what's the other show I'm obsessed with right now? Oh. The Pit.
I fucking love The Pit. I love that fucking show.
I'm finna be in The Pit.
You and me both.
I'm like, literally, they were like, they were like, the next season takes place on the 4th of July. I was like, let me play a gay guy get hit by a firecracker. Like let me play a gay guy that they fly me to. Let me be a gay guy in P-Town that gets so fucked up by a firecracker they medevac me to Pittsburgh. Yeah. I'm dead serious.
The closest hospital is in Pittsburgh.
Please, that show has it is my favorite show. I have never. Me and my like one of my best friends, we sat down to have dinner and just like HBO. We had like the Roku TV on and we were like, let's watch something. And it was the week The Pit came out, maybe even the day. And we're like, should we just fucking watch this? And then 20 minutes in, I have not touched my food. I like look over at him. I'm like, is this the best show you've ever seen in your life? And he was like, yes.
We're experiencing a moment
Then
together.
on, I ran into Langdon in the park.
Did you really?
Yes. And I've been in the room with, at this point, like a lot of celebrities. Like I'm friends with some famous people. I'm cool around celebrities.
Same.
I was like, I love The Pit. He was like, what? I was like, and it was the week where, spoiler alert for The Pit, it was the week the episode came out where you find out that he has the drugs.
Girl. Gagged me.
And my dumb ass, so I go, this is so embarrassing. He's like, my dumb ass thought he was off the show. Like, I thought he was fired, you know, because it was like, they kick him out of the hospital. You know what I mean? I was like, he's toast. So I come up to him like, I love you in The Pit. The Pit's so great. Like, it's really awesome. Like, I think you're so great on it. Like, it's just such a great show. I'm so happy for you guys. And he was like, I'm so happy. I did not say that. That would have been worse. But I was like, I'm so happy for you. No, I didn't say that. I was like, it's so good. And then he was like, he goes, oh, did you watch this week's episode? And I was like, yeah. And then I went, I'm sorry. Like thinking he had lost his job.
That's actually him.
And then 2 episodes later, he was like back. And I was like,
right.
Right. Sorry about that.
I loved that fucking show.
Oh.
I missed a doctor show. I love a doctor show. I was a Grey's fan for a minute.
Yeah.
But then Grey's gets to a point where I'm like, oh, just blow up that
hospital.
hospital.
It's so realistic. Like
just explode it and start over. I can't do it anymore.
The Pit is so realistic. It's so funny. It's so emotional. Like you'll laugh, cry, and be like, scream at the gore. I have a theory about it.
Oh, please.
I think one of the reasons it's so good and it's so successful is because there's so much happening at all times and they're jumping so much. It's TikTok brain.
That's actually a really good theory.
It is literally moving at the pace of swiping.
Like 2x speed. My sister jokes all the time. She's like, sometimes, like we were talking about Love Island, I go, have you locked into it? Are you going to watch it? Because she's kind of my source for a lot of things. So I'm like, you watch it and tell me. And she was like, I tried, but like I need to watch it in 2x. Like I can't sit through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, my brain is so rotted. I have to speed it up.
I know.
That's actually such a good point though about the bit, because it is so high paced.
I
like
genuinely
ass.
think that is it. It's so disturbing when you catch yourself watching something on 2x speed with it minimized so you can read a Wikipedia article while you're 2x speed.
And you have music playing at the same time.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's so bad.
In front of a TV that's playing it. It is literally like, what is it going to look like when I'm 40? Not good.
No, it's not looking great.
No,
right now.
it's not good. I'm going to need like the chair to vibrate and like the house to be on fire just to be like, I feel something. It's so crazy.
Dude, even with the pit, with that spoiler, with that Dr. Langdon thing on the pills, when the mean, like, what are they called? The resident, the girl that was like
Santos.
When she was ratting him out, I was like, why is everyone believing this bitch?
And
Like, I was
also,
like, hey, fuck that girl.
I was so, she won me over by the end of the season, but I was so
Me too.
anti-Santos at that time. I literally and everyone in the room turned on me because we started watching it as like with a friend group. I was like, if he's good at being a doctor on a couple pills, let him do it. And everyone was like, what the fuck? He's doing active surgery on benzos.
You know what? And I was an apologist too, because I was like, well, clearly he's doing a good job.
Well, that's why I was like, did he fuck up? Did he fuck up? No.
Let's think about this.
I literally was like, he only got caught because she's nosy.
You would have never known otherwise.
I was like,
A defender?
no.
Me too.
Oh, I was,
Same.
and you know a show's good when it has me in the paint for a straight white man fighting. I'm literally going against a queer woman of color being like, she's annoying and she's trying too hard.
For real. Live long enough to see myself become the villain.
No, literally.
For real.
Literally.
I was so balls deep in that show too. I was like, this is the best. I felt like an old man when I was like, now that's television. That's how I felt watching every episode of The Pit.
I was like, yeah. And then I became that person that was annoying at parties where it's like you could see like someone would bring it up and then I'd sort of come back to you like an hour and a half later and they're in a corner being like, I want to talk to someone else. And I'd just been talking about The Pit for so long.
Are you guys talking about The Pit?
Yeah. I remember when it ended, I said, I can't believe The Pit is over. And my roommate went, I can't wait for you to be normal about it.
Well, now you can be normal. It's perfect.
Yeah, now
It
I can be
timed out
normal
well.
until season 2 and then I'm back, baby.
We're so fucking back.
Yeah,
when
a friend of mine posted like tweeted like got an audition for The Pit and I was like, cool.
Okay, well, I don't care. I don't care that something good happened to you. It should have happened to me.
Literally.
I do have some fun facts about you.
Oh.
Would you like to hear some?
Yeah.
But hard pivot.
Okay.
Well, this one just says you grew up in rural Vermont, which
did.
we already talked about.
I did.
And that you used to be a bartender at a restaurant in New York. How did you like being a bartender?
I loved it. So
Besides the brunch horrifying part.
So I started bartending my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
And I did it. I was at a pub in England because I did my sophomore year in England, and then I moved back and bartended all of college. And in college, I like loved it. Like it was so fun, and I was like, I would be happy to bartend the rest of my life. And like when I moved to New York, I was like completely like blind, like confidence where I was like, oh, I have the best of both worlds because if I bartend forever, I'll be fine, but I'm going to try to become a comedian, like an actor. Like I was like, I'm going to go for comedy and acting, but I'm going to bartend at the same time. And like that, it's fine because like if I fall back on bartending, I'm still doing a job I love.
Right.
And then I realized like how hard actually being like a full-time bartender is and like building a life and like wanting to retire and like moving up to make, because like I was making in college, it was like I was making a certain amount of money and then but I would make like $200 a night and I was like in a college town paying cash for beer and I was like, well, I'm the richest person in America.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
how I felt as a server too.
Yes, it's the same thing. And then I moved to New York and realized that people were like moving up in jobs and would get promotions and make more money and like that and like you might need to build. And realizing how expensive the world was.
Yeah,
like,
the cost of living
I was
going
like,
up.
oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know? And so then it pivoted where I liked the act of like doing it. Like I enjoyed being behind a bar. I enjoy making cocktails. I enjoy like socializing. I really enjoyed the rest of the bar staff and the restaurant staff, like being part of like that. But it very much felt like something that I was taking my energy away from like my dreams. So then it was like stressful.
Yeah.
So it had like this, it was like a very fraught relationship. And like a lot of my New York friends are restaurant people still.
Yeah.
So it was really hard right at the end when I was starting to work a lot as a comedian, but not necessarily make a lot of money. And so I still needed to bartend, but I didn't have time where like one of my best friends who was also my manager was like, hey, like you have to work a shift this week. And I'd be like, but I can't. She'd be like, but you kind of have, it's your job. And I was like, and so it was like, there was like a tough
the
transition.
joy is kind of being sucked
Yeah.
out of it because it's taking away from your dream.
Yes, but then once I got out of it, now I look back on it with like a lot of love. And occasionally, like my friend will be like, "Hey, like, can you come bartend tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because like if someone calls out sick or something, or I'll go like maitre d' a restaurant for a night because all my friends work in restaurants.
What's your best drink that you make? Do you have a specialty?
I would say I can kind of make anything, but because I did like a lot of different kinds of bartending, but I would say like I do make like a good martini because I drink them a lot. So I know that's I would say
I've never had like
what's your drink?
I'm honestly a champagne girl. Like
you and I are really aligned because that's I always say if they were like you can only have one alcohol for the rest of your life, champagne.
Yes, because
100%.
it tastes good. You get drunk, you get fucked up, and then you don't feel that shitty the next day.
Yeah, some people
like
say it does make them feel shitty the next day. I'm like, not the good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I recently too, I think within the last like year, I was like way after the craze, but like I was really fucking with an Aperol Spritz because I fuck with the champagne.
Yeah.
But I did it way after everybody was like, you gotta try this drink. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it when everyone's done. When everyone's kind of sick of it.
They're great
I'll try it. Yeah.
It's also funny where like drinks, I always think it's funny when like drinks get trendy because I'm like, it's not like fashion where it's like part of you want to like look, you want to be in line with like the current trends so you don't look out of place or you're like on the trends. I'm like, the drink tastes the same at any time. So like, what do you mean you liked it for the summer when everyone else liked it? And not, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, I'm being so antiquated. I'm getting a spicy margarita. I'm like, if you like that, drink it. Yeah. I don't really get.
I was like, straight white girls were really onto something with that Aperol Spritz.
Yeah,
they were onto that shit.
Yeah.
I said, this shit is good. This shit is delicious.
That shit is good.
It's like a grown-up Shirley Temple to me.
Absolutely,
I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
but I have recently been wanting to try like a dirty martini because I really love vinegary kind of taste.
Yeah. Oh, you would love that.
So I figured I was like, maybe I try that because espresso martinis
next time we
aren't
hang
my
out,
vibe.
we'll do teenies.
We have to.
Yes.
My espresso martinis are not really my vibe. I've tried them many times. I'm kind of like.
Are you a coffee person though?
I do love coffee.
Oh, okay.
I think I just don't love coffee flavored alcohol or anything.
I respect
mixing
that.
It. It's a little too heavy for me.
Yeah, I think you would like a martini then because they are typically, even like the briny ones are like refreshing. They're like bright.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
What can you tell about a certain drink? Are there any drinks when you're like, oh yeah, of course you drink that?
It's more like, I would say it was less like what drink you had and like how you ordered it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like ordering a dirty martini is not like bad.
Yeah.
And like doesn't really say much
Doesn't
about
tell you
you.
anything,
But someone being like, give me the fucking nastiest martini you've ever fucking made in your life is like, what are you trying to prove? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's someone like you could tell when someone, because like dirty martinis, I think, I don't know if it happened over here, but like that was like a big thing in New York, like right towards the end of my bartending, and people were obsessed with being like, can you take a fucking shit in my martini? Like, you know, and like just wanting, like
as
just
many olives as you can give
and being
me.
like, down girl, like stop, you know what I mean?
Chill.
Or like men who be like, just being like old fashioned, and it's like that there's like a certain like performance to it. It was more about like how you would perform the order than it was the actual drink.
That's tea.
I would love so hard for like some guy walk up and I'd be like, Pinot Grigio, like, you know what I mean? Like that would be so. I'd be like, yeah, you got
I love
it.
a Pinot.
Yeah,
I don't mind a Pinot.
Yeah,
I don't really love red wine. I prefer a white.
I do too, but I have like an appreciation for all of it pretty much. Yeah, I feel like
red wine makes me want to shit myself, so that's
hard on some people have a hard time digesting it. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. That's how I feel about whiskey too. I'm like,
oh,
I'm
really?
I'm not a big fan of pooping myself, so I gotta stay away.
I so respect that.
Yeah, the first time I ever threw up from drinking was from, what was it? It was that Tennessee.
The screwball. Oh no.
No,
Jack?
it was Jack, but it
honey
was
Jack
the honey one.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically. I remember taking that shot and I was already super fucked up. I remember taking that shot and then thinking to myself, yeah, that's going to fuck me up. I got to do something about that. I'm probably going to have to vomit in a couple minutes. So, and I did.
There's nothing more embarrassing than like vomiting from drinking after the age of like 27.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
At the time, thankfully, I was like 20.
It's only
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. It's only happened to me like one time, but I was like, no one can know about this. Like,
no, that's true because
it's so embarrassing.
When I did get like really fucked up after 27 or whatever, I remember it was like a while ago. I don't get drunk like that anymore because again, I pay the price.
Yeah.
But I remember I was at my fiance's parents' house. We got so fucked up. And then
Drinking at home will sneak up on you because you're just like pouring.
Girl, I know.
Yeah.
And we were having so much fun. I remember most of the night. I remember coming back online and I was laying down in the downstairs half bath, the one that everybody's using. I just locked the door.
No.
And then his mom was knocking on the door and she's like, hey, are you okay?
How y'all doing?
And then I sat up. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Me pretending like I've only been in there for a couple minutes. It had probably been like 30. And then I went offline again. Don't know what happened after that. When I came back online again, both me and my fiance were asleep in the bed, but I was under the covers. He was on top of them. My shoes were on underneath the blanket and his shoes were on too.
No.
And I was like fully in my same clothes, same makeup, same shoes.
I
And I had to lay, and I was like, why are my boots on? I'm laying in bed. What the hell happened here?
That's really tough. My last time was 2 or 3 Christmases ago. I was at my family's my uncle threw a Christmas party.
Love.
And yeah, it was cute, but and I just like wasn't paying attention and just like drinking all night. And then like on that side of the family, me and my sister are like older than most of the other cousins. So now that like I'm 32, all of the cousins are like 21, 22, but they want, so like I want to be the cool cousin that like still hangs out with them. So I'm like, yeah, I'll play King's Cup and 2 shots. And it's like, why? No, you were drinking wine like an adult all night. And now like they're just now starting to drink at 10 and you've been drinking and now you're going to do the drinking game with them. So I like blacked out playing a drinking game with 21-year-olds. Like, absolutely slay.
King's Cup
You're
is
old
crazy.
enough to be a senator. So maybe sit down. Like,
You can run for president.
not yet. 35 down. Not yet.
It's all the same to them.
But it's like, but I fell asleep at the coffee table with a glass of red wine between my legs like this. And then woke up in the morning and was like, I'm going to vomit, but I don't want anyone to know. And so I quietly went downstairs. Like they were making breakfast. Like it's like also one of those mornings where like, I'm so hungover, I need the hospital. And everyone else is like, we're good. You know what I mean? You're like, what? Like, oh, it was definitely me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, girl. If I drank like how I did when I was 21, I would have to be in the hospital.
100%.
And the psych ward right after.
Yeah.
That.
And so I quietly like tried to go downstairs, but I was like, I'm gonna vomit, but I didn't want anyone to know. And then I go, and my sister is in the bathroom, and so I'm waiting for her, like being like, you need to get out of the bathroom, bitch. You need to get out of the bathroom. And then she comes out, and you know how like sometimes like I think she was slightly hungover, so you know when like you and your sister like immediately are in a fight for no reason.
Yes.
I think I was like waiting too close to the door for her, so she opens the door, and right as she does, I like start to vomit in my mouth, and I'm like, and she's like, what? And I can't talk, so I'm like, move. And she's like, don't. She's like, use your words, and I'm like, and she's like, don't wave your hand.
You're
at
like,
me.
I'm dying.
So then I start pushing her and vomiting, and she's like, no! And then I start going in the bathroom, and then as I'm going, I just hear her go upstairs, and she's like, so Jake's downstairs, and he's throwing up. And I was like, so now everyone knows.
Yeah.
Right?
So perfect. So my whole plan went to
And
shit.
it is Christmas Day, because the party's on Christmas Eve.
Mind you, Christmas.
Yeah. Mind you, Jesus is upstairs waiting for me. He's on
Mind you, my mom wants to take pictures in matching pajamas. Get that.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what other fun facts I have about
Oh, I forgot we were going through these.
Yeah, it says you used to perform a live comedy show called Queer Therapy Live.
Oh my God, that's a blast from the past. Yeah.
And how was that?
That was good. There was this, basically there was this venue that's still there, but I think they've kind of pivoted away from this, but there was this venue in New York that was doing this thing where they wanted to like have all their shows be a fusion of comedy and science.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sort of like a pre-pandemic, sort of like we have like the margins to be experimental in like the performance space.
Okay.
And so the premise of the show was that it was all gay performers, and then there'd be like a gay, I think like mental health expert. I think it was my show, like a gay mental health that would do like a presentation on like queer like psychology.
Okay.
I only did like I think 4 of them before the pandemic hit, which was probably good because most queer psychology is sad. You know what I mean? It's like the effects of like being oppressed your entire life. And then I'd be like, okay, so that was Dr. Todd. Next up, Drew for 20 minutes of stand up. And the comic would come up on the stage like looking at me like, bitch, what the fuck am I walking into?
Everybody
like,
has tears in their
like
eyes.
literally.
Yeah, they're like.
So we were on the cusp of like a rebrand of the show when the pandemic hit. But yeah, it was me trying some stuff out. That was like when I was starting to try to pivot to stand up right before the pandemic hit.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
We love that though.
Yeah.
I think it's a very funny concept, I say.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like I actually now look back on the memories of telling people what the pitch of the show was, and like now I'm like, oh, that's what that person looks like when they lie. Do you know? Because they'd be like, oh my God, that's such a fun idea. And I was like, yeah, it is. And now I'm like, that's what they look like when they lie.
Girl, I'm surrounded by fake friends. Nobody told me anything. It says you were in an improv group at UCB called Funky Hard Beats.
Oh my God, yes, I was.
How was that?
That was good. Those were some of my best friends. I love all those people. Funky Hard Beats is a Britney Spears quote. She said she loves songs with funky hard beats. So we called ourselves that, and we were like just doing a bunch of dumb shit on stage. There was like a show called there's a show at UCB called Cage Match.
Okay.
Which was like, it was on Thursday nights, and it was like 2 teams would each do a set and then for like 25 minutes, and then the audience votes on who won, and then they get to come back the next week and do the show and face off a new team, so you could like keep doing the show as long as you kept winning.
Right.
And that was like how that team became like a UCB team, was we like won that a bunch. But like I was so
kept dominating.
Yeah, but I was so addicted to improv at the time that I truly thought like, I was like, I'm gonna get recognized on the train. Like I was like, I'm a New York celebrity, like I'm winning Cage Match at UCB. Like I literally thought I was God on earth for this shit. Like I would be like, we would win, and I literally like going around the theater being like, let's go, like just like, so it's like I won an improv comedy competition. Humiliating.
Taking that shit real fucking serious.
Yeah, I was not, but everyone at UCB did back then, like before the pandemic, because it was kind of like a cult a little bit. It's still like improv just like has that quality to it. I think people are like so addicted to it.
Every one of my comedian friends has been like, yeah, it was something I did take way too seriously, but it was that serious.
It was, yeah. I remember one time when I was like really in it at UCB, we were like hanging out with non-UCB people. It was like my like other friends from college and stuff. And we were like at a party and we were like drinking. And I was like talking to someone new, like a new friend I had just made, about like theory of improv performance. And my best friend overheard it and just turned and went, shut the fuck up. Do you think they want to hear that right now? And I look, the person is like drowning. They're
like, that's nice.
But I was like, there's no world where someone wouldn't find this fascinating. I was like, there's no world.
I honestly really love that about you. Yeah. I love how intensely you absorb things. I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is like I think it's like the storyteller thing in me, where it's like, if I'm like passionate about something, I have to talk about it.
You're telling me you don't care about this?
Yeah. I've never been chill about anything in my entire life. I've never been chill about anything in my entire life. And it's true of like dating. Like I tried, like if I get like excited about something, I'm like, don't go crazy. And then it's like, I'm like, you went crazy.
And then guess what? I went crazy.
Yeah. And then guess what? And Reader, he went crazy.
It says you made Vogue's list of 8 funniest accounts on TikTok.
Yeah. And they didn't tell me.
Vogue didn't tell you?
Vogue didn't tell me. And
he said he'll see it.
And then my mom texted me. My mom, I think at one point got bored one day. And so she Googled me. To like look at what her son had done.
Yeah.
And she was like, did you know that Vogue made you top 8 whatever like 2 years ago? Like it was so long after. I was like no one told me. I was shocked that no one told me.
No, that's a huge deal, especially in Vogue. What the
I know.
fuck?
I was like so excited, and I was like, I would have loved to have celebrated this when it happened.
Hey, but thanks Vogue. 2
It was
years
like,
later.
and it was like, thank you for seeing me, but you didn't call me. Like it was like the most,
thanks Vogue. It's the party all over again with the ticket.
Absolutely.
All over again.
All over again.
And then it says you have a new weekly podcast called Walk With Me Here.
Yeah.
On Substack.
I do.
Tell me about the pod.
I have it on Substack. Which I've really, really been enjoying. I've done a few podcasts before and they've always been fun, but I wanted to kind of do something a little bit like smaller that was just like me talking directly to like people who wanted to hear what I had to say. Totally. I'm sure you can kind of relate to this. I was getting really frustrated with the algorithm and feeling like, because a lot of my videos tend to be kind of silly stuff.
Yeah.
And I was noticing like if I went too far into talking about being gay or too far into being politics, the videos would just get completely suppressed and I would still make them. I guess I wanted to talk about those things, but I was like, oh, if I can go to like Substack and people can subscribe to this and then like it will be sent directly to them non-algorithmically.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I was like, I think I want to just try that. And
I think that's cute. What a cute ass name, because that's what you always do in your videos.
Yeah. People are walking. That was the idea.
I love that.
That was the idea. And I thought it would be fun. And it's been really fun. Like, it's really nice to have like a group of people that listen to the show and like it's growing and they're sending messages and people can email into the show. And so it's been very fun. And it's also very surreal to like, it's kind of extension of doing the videos and stuff, but it is crazy to like talk for an hour and be like, people want to hear that. But like
You're fucking telling me, bitch.
I know. Yeah. It's like,
I told people, I've said before, like, because one time I got a comment, this was like years ago. Obviously I've been doing this for fucking ever, but like years ago I got a comment. They were like, yeah, I've heard that story before. I'm like, you try talking for 180 episodes, like, bitch. You're going to start repeating yourself.
It's like, what do you want me to do? I don't have another life to pull from.
And also this person hasn't heard it. So I'm going to tell them my story.
No, it is true.
I'm gonna get the laugh regardless. Yeah. But I think that's beautiful. And is it more of like a serious kind of tone?
No, it's not. It's definitely
or
funny.
You can expand a little bit more
basically
on things.
Yeah. I basically, the way I've been making the show is that I just have a running notes app for every week. And then I sit down on Wednesday and go through the notes app of like what's happened to me that week and the thoughts I've had. And I just kind of like structure it, be like, I'll talk about this first, this first, this first. And then like if people have commented or emailed in, like I'll figure out the order. And then I just kind of like talk about the things I want to talk about. So it's very funny. It's definitely comedic. But it's more able just to go long.
I feel you.
Talk about whatever I want, not worry about getting censored by the algorithm.
Totally.
And it's a lot more, because I love telling stories. It's also like getting to tell longer stories and not doing like story time. Like, I don't know. It feels more conversational.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You're telling me. That was another reason why I wanted to do the podcast in the first place, because I was like, believe it or not, I got a lot more yap in me.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
Well, and it's like, I think when you do TikTok, you know how to make the videos that are going to do well. And there's so much that goes into that is like not organic to how we actually are.
Totally.
That I was like,
I'm sure, because when people probably meet you in real life, they're like, oh my God, that's so different from what I thought.
Totally. I also get a lot of people who meet me who don't know who I am or don't know that I'm a comedian are very shocked when they find out, because I'm like not as as I like am online. I was in Provincetown at a dinner party, and this guy was, we had been talking for like, at this point, like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, and what do you two do? I was sitting with my best friend, and he was like, oh, I manage a restaurant. And he goes, and you? And I go, oh, I'm a comedian. He goes, ugh, you haven't been funny at all.
Oh.
Damn, okay.
I said, well, how much time do you got? I got a closing 10.
I said, did you pay me?
No shit. What the fuck?
It's like, crazy.
Well, and that's also, I think that speaks to like how people look at comedy, like as a whole, because they're like, well, I could do that. Like the way that they look at it. Even I just had Holmes on, and Holmes was
the
telling
funniest
me,
person ever.
If I could be around them 99% of the time, I think my life would be
Holmes
better
and
for
I will
it.
like do FaceTimes where we like, or like for like an hour and a half, and I'll just be like walking around. Like it's like I'll just be walking around here, and she'll just like be in bed, and it is, I get off of it and I'm like, well, my abs hurt from laughing. I've also cried 3 times. Like it's one of those, like
one of the funniest people who's ever lived. But when I was talking to them, they were saying, I was talking to some jazz musicians, and they were saying like, oh, you know, like we both have a lot in common. Like they were just bonding with these jazz musicians at a place. And then they said that one of the musicians told them that it's funny because when people see me performing jazz, right, because they were saying it's actually improv of music, which I love improv. And I was like, you dork. Like we were laughing about it. And then they said that it's crazy though, because the jazz musician noticed that nobody would come up to me and say, I could do that. Oh, I play jazz all the time, but they will do that for comedians, right?
Totally.
Like they'll be like, you know what's funny is like, I've been known to tell a funny joke or two.
Or you get a lot of, I think the one I get even more than that is like, I've been thinking about trying it out, or I've always been wanting to try it out. You know what I mean?
I told Holmes too, I was like, Serena Breyer said, when men say, I think I want to try it. And then she goes, why?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? Why would you ever?
Yeah.
Don't.
It is crazy because every once in a while, the least charismatic person I've ever met in my life has been like, I've been meaning to get up on stage. And I'm... But then
so true.
It is crazy. But there is also, I will say something you learn doing stand-up is that there is, I think most stand-ups are fun in like especially like a lot of like the ones that we know and hang out with.
Yes.
But like you will meet actual like cyborgs backstage who will just be there's nothing, like it is a full persona on stage that does not exist. And when you watch them like and walk out on stage and then they come off and I'm like, you scare me more than most.
That's very true.
And they'll be like, thank you for having me on the show. And they walk out. I'll be like, someone follow them. Like, I don't, where are they going?
I don't know what they're going to do, but it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm nervous.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I've always liked making people laugh. You at one point decided to get good at it. and you weren't before. And kudos to you at working hard, but I don't think you should work on it if it doesn't come natural to you.
For a bad reason.
Because it speaks to evil. Do you know what I mean?
I totally know what
because
you mean.
I'm like, look, I wish that sometimes I don't actually wish this, but it's like, I'm like, my personality is so obnoxious. I kind of had to make it my career.
Fucking same.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And
bitch.
there are days where I'm like, wow, what would it be like to have a career that isn't completely wrapped up in my personality and identity? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, like, that could be amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
But I didn't have a choice.
No, me too. Same.
And I'm like, when people have a choice, I'm like, you don't have to make this choice. Like, you can just go do the normal thing.
Go be a dentist.
Yes.
That's your path. Go be a dentist. We need more dentists in the world.
Well, because I also think, a thing I'm thinking about so much now is like so much of when we were little kids is they talk to you about like, what do you want to be when you grow up? As like being a dentist will be your monolithic existence.
Right.
Or like being like, and it's like, you know,
your profession makes up who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you find out like everyone's just trying to make money to go out to eat at the end of the night, get drinks with their friends and go on vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you're a gay guy, it's like everyone has a job that seems like kind of fake, but they're all making $200,000 a year and doing it. And I'm like, I could have done that. Like now, you know what I mean? It's like, I love my career. I love my job.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have to constantly be working at it. And I kind of have to constantly like, and if I fail, it's not like, oh, I got fired from this job. It's like Jake Cornell failed. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's literally, it's like
a shark swimming thing. If sharks stop swimming, they'll die.
Yeah. It's sort of like that.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, wow, like when people are like, when people post like the Instagram story of like slams laptop till Monday, I'm like, it turns off my brain till Monday, like turns off my existence till Monday.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm plugging away all the time.
I didn't realize that other people, it's like, oh wait, we all go on vacations? Okay.
Yeah. No, for real.
You know?
No, constantly. I feel like, and also too, it's like high risk, high reward.
Yes.
Right. So like the greatest things you could ever think of, like dream job, really long way to fall if it doesn't work out.
Well, that's the thing. And it is, and I will never claim my job is harder in terms of the day-to-day work than like anyone who has a 9 to 5. I will never. Like I understand the perks of my job, but the way that it exists in every moment of my life, it's an exchange. Uniquely hard.
Yeah, and I've said that too. I was like, I would never say this is the hardest job in the world.
It's just not.
Yeah, I would never say this is the hardest job in the world. I've always said this job comes with a very specific set of problems that you would never encounter in any other job you've had.
100%.
No matter how many times you've had them. Like you could have had 100 jobs. If it wasn't this one, all the problems you come across, you're not going to know how to deal with because there's no one to ask.
Yeah.
And then the only way to get through it is to get through it and then to make friends who are also doing it and talk shit about it. That's the only way.
It's also one of the ones where it's also like, if you were to quit tomorrow, when you went out to the restaurant the next day, you would still be Drew Offwalla. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
of
people
course.
would recognize you.
Absolutely.
And you have to deal with that. So it's like, it's also, I'm like pushing you into a crisis, but it's like, it is irrevocable. Like we also did something that's like a little irrevocable.
No, it's true.
Like,
I made my peace with it. I signed that contract with the devil a long time
100%.
ago. That's why I was like, I made peace with it a while ago.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we can't talk shit about it.
No, absolutely.
Even if anything, when you were saying I'm way too obnoxious to have done anything else, fucking same.
Yeah.
I was telling my friend the other day this unbelievably ridiculous story that happened to my family. The most insane things happen to me and my family always. My entire life. Like, and to the point where the other day I told my sister, if we didn't have a witness at certain points in our life, people would think I'm just a pathological liar.
100%.
Because, and I was telling my fiance, when I was telling that story, I was like, what's crazy is that I think that cosmic balance gave me this job because there's nothing else I could fucking do. Like with all of this shit happening to me, I needed to put it somewhere. I needed to channel that into something.
Yeah.
And then turned out it was being hilarious.
Yeah. That's the other thing is like, it's like, it is like, I'll tell myself like, it's so crazy that I like, this is the career path I pursued. But then I'm also like, but I did it. It is my job now. Like it is my job now.
Yeah.
Like,
And it is shocking.
Like it is like, it's like, oh, I did. Like I'm like dunking on the younger version of me for going after this thing, but clearly he was smart because it worked.
Same.
Like I still have more I want to achieve and more I want to grow towards.
Totally.
But like it's not failing.
No,
Knock
absolutely
on all
not.
the wood. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
But it's like it's funny to write that off in a certain way.
Yeah, and I think that, well, first of all, I think that means it makes it obvious you're a good person because you're feeling grateful for it. Like
Yeah.
you still walk in gratitude about it, which
Totally.
I do the same thing because I would never want to do anything else.
Well, nothing is more miserable than being around people who are super successful and are like complaining about it. Have you ever been at those parties?
Yes, of course.
That is truly, I would rather be around straight people. Do you know what I mean?
My
It's
favorite
like,
thing to do is when my friends and I, if we were like, can I just bitch?
Oh,
And we
yeah.
bitch about the most ridiculous like problems that no one would ever understand. And then at the end, we're always like, this is a fucking made up job. What am I complaining about?
100%.
It's almost like I talk myself out of it. Like
Yeah,
go
yeah.
around to end up right back where I was, which is
100%.
like, I need to shut up.
no, yeah, you get back to it and you're like, this is actually fine.
Yeah, and I need to be quiet because I'm dumb.
Yes.
I'm acting dumb.
100%.
But I think you are fucking hilarious. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so grateful that you came on the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
I would love to ask you if you have any advice for because we just talked about how hard you worked to get to where you are now, and you're doing amazing now, which I'm very grateful for.
Thank you.
For the internet to have exposure to you in that way. But I would love to know if you have any advice for any aspiring comedians, stand-ups, like anyone who wants to pursue this art form, like if you have any advice for them.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I was watching Lena Dunham's interview on Girls We Watch podcast that just came out on the flight over here today. And I was thinking about how like she put out so much work from such a young age, and I didn't do that. And I was so afraid of if I put something bad out, people would like write me off and I'd never be able to like recover from the bad thing.
Right.
And it's like the life is long and time moves on, and you can and you just try. It wasn't until like when I finally started making stuff, my career started changing, my life started changing. Like it was like, and I waited a little bit longer than I wish I had to do that. So it's like, just make some videos, go try stand up, like especially when you're young, and like, and be receptive to like what's actually happening. Don't go in it with like, don't be like the delusional person who's like, fuck them, they didn't laugh, it's not them. Like, be open to being bad at something and then get good at it.
Yeah, it's like failing faster.
Yes.
It's like fail faster so that you can succeed faster.
Yes.
It's like getting it out of the way.
And also, it should always also kind of be about making friends.
Yeah.
Because that's also going to lead to your success.
Totally.
Like when you're at shows, when you're working on collaborating with people, it's not just about the product. For me, at least, it's about like building relationships with people, becoming friends with people. Because one, a job is only worth having, in my mind, a career and a job is only worth having if you're enjoying doing it, which is like why I do this. And it's because I get to like we're at work right now. I'm hanging out with you. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
So treat people very well. And this is a huge piece of advice. I will say this now after doing this for 10 years. You never know where someone's going to end up. Like the assistant that was like on a shoot when like 7 years ago is going to be a director in 10 years.
That's tea.
So you need to be nice to everyone, and you shouldn't be nice to them because they might be a director in 10 years.
No.
But like if you're ever catching yourself like being short or be like, you need to watch it because people fucking remember shit.
That's so tea, especially people in this industry
Yes.
that are not talent. Like if they work as a producer, a PA, an assistant,
100%.
makeup, hair, styling, anyone that works on these sets, they do remember everything.
And do you know why we know? Because they tell us now.
Exactly. That's my favorite question to ask.
So you sit down in the chair. So who's that?
Yeah, my favorite question to ask is literally like, you ever worked with anyone that sucked ass?
I'm like, yeah.
They're always like, oh yeah. Of course
yeah.
I ask makeup artists, I ask hairstylists, I ask stylists. Like I literally ask anybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, and what's your tea, girl?
Yeah.
What's going on? Who do we hate? Who do we love?
And you're like, oh, they signed an NDA? Well, we can whisper, bitch. Like, I don't like, it's like.
And here's mine. Signing it for you.
Yeah. So treat people well, I think
That's
is also.
tea. I love that. And I think you're incredible and so fucking funny.
I think you are fucking incredible.
Thank you. I'm so glad you came out. I'm so glad the cruise brought you here.
No.
I'm so glad the cruise brought you to these shores.
It took so long to get around South America, but we got here.
But you're here. So for those who don't know, for whatever fucking reason, and haven't know where to find you, where can everybody find you?
You can follow me on TikTok or Instagram at Jake W. Cornell, and on Substack, you can search Jake Cornell or Walk With Me Here is the name of my show.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, the amazing Jake Cornell, for joining us on this episode of The Comment Section. Thank you so much for coming. You're fucking awesome.
You're fucking
I love
awesome.
you. I'm obsessed with you.
Love you too.
And thank you all so much for joining us on this episode. Don't forget, new episodes of The Comment Section drop every Wednesday. You can stream the audio on all streaming platforms, but the video lives for free and exclusively on our favorite platform, Spotify. Thank you so much to our amazing guest, Jake Cornell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.